with you and he listened to you. With our mayor that we have now,
never mind.
I think I only met him once.
Yo, that's for party. That is actually because you say you for the people.
Yes.
You want to be in. That is a sign you need to like pitch up. If a person
and do more
and
do more for the people. It's for me it was, this is the reason why I joined the day, because
Yes.
I want to infiltrate the system that is not giving to the people no more.
Yes.
When Dan Plato was there, he gave. Now we have our new mayor, he does not give. And it doesn't matter how many times they sing the song over there, they don't give. But I'm for the DA. Because they've got very good values.
Yes.
They got values, good values, and they got their visions are good. It's just the execution is still not to the max. But probably if I'd ask one of them, you know what they're gonna say? Oh, it's because of national government, and this is the reason why they cannot do that.
So basically, what you're saying, if you are in, you're gonna try and the values that they have, try and build it more and lift it up.
Yes, and build more on it, because the reason why their values, their visions can work for the people.
Yes.
It can definitely work for the people. As you can see, Western Cape is a well-run province. And I can't argue with that. But however, our people are still struggling.
Yes.
Our people are struggling, and you know what? And if you go back and you listen to the words, they say the rich will get richer and the poor will stay poor.
Yes.
That is the saying that we must change. That stigma, we need to, rip it from the core from our people, because our people is the only that really struggle like this.
Yeah, it is tough to see. You can actually see now in our community. You don't even need to go far. You can see it literally in your community, day to day. People buying 2 rand sugar or coffee, and it's very
Where do
hard.
they come on 2 rand sugar?
But the struggle is real.
And do you understand what I'm saying? So
The struggle is real.
that is the thing. And now even with the part where they want to push it up with 2% more VAT, I mean, what are they doing to our people?
Yeah, it's tough, man.
But yet there's a lot of funds that has been made available for social development and all these little entities that's from government that needs to come into the communities.
But does it come?
That's the thing. We're having people that is looking now at this whole, every time there's a couple of million being exposed to a project, now they are looking deeper into it though. Make an example. There's a sports field here that we have here.
Okay.
It's being developed. So it's an undisclosed amount of millions that has been allocated to restructure this whole thing. And I'm not going to tell you which minister is involved that one, but we just need to look at the budget that was allocated. Now we need to see if that funds is actually covering all of that, or is it just the normal.
But it's the same like you said, what even where the soup kids is in it, there's a budget set out, there's funds, but to tap into it, it's very hard. There's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of this, there's a lot of that. Make an
example. We have now got our ward councillors, right?
Okay.
We have 2 ward councillors. These 2 ward councillors, they have every certain period, then they are able to give all the elderly packets or parcels or hampers or whatever they want to call it.
Yes.
So then they give that to the people. However, only a certain amount of people get it.
Yeah.
In a certain area.
Which is wrong.
Which, do you understand why my purpose of wanting to get into the DA?
Yes.
So that I can actually stand there and protest against this. Why only them and not them? Because I know of elderly people, I'm talking about 60-year-old pensioners, however, I haven't seen anything from the government for I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
I have a lady that is 62 or 63. Yes. She doesn't have fingerprints.
Yo? Like literally fingerprints or the fingerprints on the system.
Fingerprint. So she lost her ID. But now forever, now since they had the grants and the pensions or whatever, this lady has not received 1 cent from the government.
Yo, that's it, man.
And she's struggling.
But now, you as an activist, what can you do? Like, can you report it and can something?
What we do is we bring it to the attention of the ward councillor. Sometimes it's not even in the ward councillor's
description.
No, it's in his description to help the people. It's not in his zone, because in his ward he see to only his ward. He's not supposed to filter into another councillor's ward. But sometimes the one filters into the other one's ward because the one is maybe not even visible. And that's the case that we have over here. 2 councillors are just
disappeared.
Now the one councillor just disappeared. You don't ever see him. The other one is here, but he tries his best to actually assist everywhere. So this is what we do is we report it to him and see how far we can push it with that. But at the end of the day, you know what, the lady is still struggling, and how many years is this not? I mean, through COVID, she was struggling. Before COVID, she was struggling, and over 60s was not a small number of 30 years.
Yeah.
It is 60 years
that they were living.
And for that time, let's just say that 20 years after 40, at least you should have got something from the government.
Yeah, because you were actually part of the economy.
Yes.
You did serve the economy to some degree of purpose. Now you're retired, so that means the government's supposed to look after the people. That's how I see it, and which is a fact.
Even if they could just give her a box every month, it'd be good. I mean, it will work. But there's nothing. That is the reason. That's one of the reasons I would like to get in, because of unfairness and the non-distributive of things that are going to different people, unnecessary.
So you were saying we end up in Tableview, but this guy did travel far. We don't know if it's by taxi or by a donkey cart, but he traveled far. So it was from Mitchell's Plain, Tableview, and then he came to Atlantis. Why did you come to Atlantis?
The funny thing is, I worked in Tableview, as I told you. But then I went to this dry cleaners.
Okay.
Obviously I was a bachelor then, living in a flat.
Single life.
Living the life. And then obviously I had to get my washing washed, man.
Okay.
So I go to this dry cleaners and I see this Chicana there, and she's just hipped and whatever. Yeah. But then we started talking, and afterwards she started doing my washing, and then she started doing my washing for free.
Yo, there's the benefits of being a bachelor.
Yeah, then I ended up marrying the free laundry.
Okay. Yo, that is good. Laundry free for life, people.
Yes. Yeah, laundry free for life. Nah, I don't washing anymore.
You do it yourself now inside the house.
Yeah, then I ended up in Atlantis.
Okay, yeah, and then I see you became part of the community, and there's where you probably get into the neighborhood watch.
Yeah, the neighborhood watch it's a very serious topic for me, because it's about safety. And it's not just safety for people, adults, but it's for the kids.
Yes.
I'm very driven by kids. So there's too many kids dying on the streets.
Yes.
With firearms, unnecessary gangsterism, and part of the neighborhood watch is obviously to how can I say
try and diffuse
the situations that's happening on the streets. So visibility is good for them, so that they can obviously be on the street and be the eye out. So it's just one of those things that I decided to join, because that is what a good resident do.
Yes.
And I think all residents in their spare time should actually take the time out and get out of their sofas or couches and Netflix and stuff, and start walking the road and protecting our youngsters. So then maybe our youngsters will stop sitting on corners in the clutches of gangsters, where the gangsters start using them to sell things.
Yes.
So if everybody stands together and everybody start making themselves visible, then these things will come down. And I can guarantee you, when all the community stands together against gangsterism, drugs, and how can GBV, all of those topics, if the community stands together, they can wipe that out without law enforcement, without the police, without any government. Because remember, I'm telling you, I've been neighborhood watch in Mitchell's Plain also. So way back then it was more
From
like hardcore. The neighborhood watch was hardcore. Like if we find a gangster on the street in Mitchell's Plain, we took them to the neighborhood watch headquarters, and we would sort him out.
I thought you were gonna say that the neighborhood what's hockey.